Alright, on the docket today, we are changing out the clutch and Baby Blue. Hey, say hey, YouTube world. YouTube
What's
world,
up?
my brother Larry Dale.
Yeah,
Master of many things.
so the first thing that comes off is these little retainers here that hold on your universal joint cups. Generally they're 7/16 of an inch, and that holds your cups on to your pinion gear. Out here is a carrier bearing. This has to come off next, and then the whole shaft will slide out of your spline tail shaft.
All right, why does it have a carrier bearing, Larry Dale?
Because this is a long bed boudet.
Yes, if it didn't have that carrier bearing, then this drive shaft would be way too long, and it would promote vibration, unwanted vibration. I mean, I know sometimes people like vibration, especially some ladies, but we don't like it in our truck. So, that being said, we're done. There's our little, probably a Saginaw. I guess it could be a Muncie 3-speed, but it's probably a Saginaw 3-speed. And we're gonna rip that bitch out. Make this happen, Captain.
No. There again, this will be 3/8. You take out the retainer.
Why don't you just take the cable off?
You mess all that up. Just take this out and pull this out. Leave it all together.
Okay.
So, put the camera down and hand me a tool.
What do you want?
3/8 boxed in, and I need a 3/4 for the carrier bearing bolts.
Okay, so we got the transmission out. We unbolted it. Then we slid it out, and then what do we do? Yeah, I know.
You gotta divorce the transmission from the bell housing on this, because the bell housing is part of the motor mount situation on a 6-cylinder on a Chevrolet. And so we divorce the transmission from the bell housing, then remove the bell housing, and then remove the clutch and pressure plate.
Now, what's important about this clutch that we gotta remember? Can you install a clutch backwards?
Yes.
Have you ever done it before?
Unfortunately, yes. Now, most of the manufacturers put a sticker that says this way to the flywheel or this side to the flywheel. But in any case, we can show you right here which way. You'll see that this is flat, okay, and the other side is raised. The raised side goes into the pressure plate, and the flat side goes toward the flywheel.
Another thing that you want to look at whenever you're doing something like this clutch was really bad. You can see right here, these little rivets right here are starting to make contact with the flywheel, but just starting. We caught it just in time, because whenever you're doing this, you want to make sure and look at your flywheel. If those rivets had started digging into the flywheel, well, then we would have had to take this flywheel and go get it resurfaced. As it is, though, this flywheel's fine. We're going to go ahead and we're going to slap the clutch right back on it, the new clutch, and put it all back together. So we really, in a sense, get lucked out. Now, what we haven't done yet is remove this pilot bearing, and I guess we can leave it in there, but we'll probably go ahead and try and get a hold of that with something and pull out that pilot bearing, because we got a new one came with the kit. And then we'll show you how to install the flywheel kit using the key. Your key is going to come with your clutch kit. You put that in there. That goes into the pilot bearing. Bloop. All right. So you make sure everything is nicely lined up. If you don't do that, this clutch will not be perfectly lined up, and it can wobble and cause vibrations, right?
Well, it'll cause you not to be able to reinstall the transmission.
Oh, okay.
This was out of line. Let's say it was moved over slightly like that. The new transmission comes here. Why won't it go in? Why won't it go in? Well, it's not lined up. So this is what this is for. It's an alignment tool so that you can reinstall your transmission.
All right, so moving on
And
to.
just remember, it's $25 an hour if I fix it. It's $50 an hour if you watch me fix it, and it's $150 an hour if you help me fix it.
All right, so we just got back from Summit Racing, which is where I got the clutch, because the clutch that they gave me was wrong. Probably not any fault of their own. The guy who rebuilt this engine, for whatever reason, looks like best we can figure, replace the flywheel from instead of a truck flywheel, he probably had what was available and was like, oh, let's just make this work. And we matched it up to a 1975 Nova, which is weird because that's my first car. But anyways, so we went back, we got another clutch to match that flywheel, which it's not an 11-inch clutch. It's not, which is what we had, and that's what should go in that truck. It's not a 10-inch clutch. It's a 10 3/8 inch clutch, which never heard of. But this damn thing was a lot more expensive. I will say it's packaged nicer, if that makes a difference. But anyways, there we go. Hopefully it'll work now, and we can get this thing on the road. So I'll let you know how it goes.
Okay. Well, as you can see, we have the pressure plate and clutch mocked up here, but the bolts are not tightened down. If you tighten down the bolts, the clutch plate is going to be under tremendous pressure against the flywheel. So you leave it loose until you get the key stuck in. Now, we're properly lined up, the clutch plate is, to the pilot bearing in the end of the crank. Now you can tighten down the flywheel bolts to apply pressure, pull the key out, and reinstall the bell housing and transmission. Everything will be in alignment. That's good. Start tightening down. And by the way, these should be torqued properly. So snug them up with whatever you're going to do it with, and then torque them.
Are you a fan of the Ryobi?
That's what I have available.
Okay, so we had the wrong clutch to deal with. Went back to Summit, got the right clutch. Obviously, I already told you about that. We got it all back together. Clutch feels good. You know, it's good, right? Pain in the ass to get to. But the cool thing is we got it tuned up really nice. All right, we got the timing light. This is my first time actually using a timing light, and could go into a million explanations, but just use it. It's freaking great. It's awesome. Once you hook it up, you'll see. Oh, I get it. So got it timed up, and just, all you got to do, like my brother Larry Dale will say, just look at the key and it starts. You know, it just like boom, fires right up, running good. Went to pull it out, and guess what? It had started raining, and stuck once again. Stuck right there in place. It's kind of wanting to go over my little cliff there. Anyways, how do they say that? If it is not one thing, then it is another.
That's right. If it can happen, it will happen, my fine feathered friend.
All right. Well.
But it was all in all good job. Runs good, shifts good, pulls good. 2 thumbs up.
You heard it there, and hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.